Hey everybody, I'm back. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist and I'm creating a video every day for a year to get over my fear of public speaking and social anxiety. And this is video 180 of 365. And I hope you guys are doing awesome. We're heading into Thanksgiving week next week. So I hope you all are doing good. I intend that you all are doing well. And I hope my videos will provide you with something, maybe something to calm you, something to change your mind about something, get you looking at things differently. Remember that how you see yourself is how you're going to see everything around you. So I want you to start practicing this little thing. I almost said this little ditty. We don't want to say ditty on this channel, but anyway, I want you to train yourself to look for the good in everything, literally everything. Start with looking at the good in yourself. And what are the barriers or distractions that are keeping you from looking at the good in yourself? The distractions are maybe fears, insecurities, anything you can think of that might be holding you back, guilt, negative feelings you might be feeling. All of those things are distractions from putting your focus on what you could look at that's good about yourself. And you have to train yourself away from these distractions. These distractions are like so potent and powerful. It is crazy. But if you really think about it, we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. So 95% of those thoughts you thought yesterday. So that means that what you're thinking right now is mostly what you've thought the last, few years. If we want to say that, it's been a few years in the making. So everything you're thinking right now is just programmed from the day before and the day before that and the day before that. And so you get to decide what is real and true for you. So everything that comes into your mind, question it as much as you can. 60 to 70,000 thoughts, we're not going to catch all those all the time. But you're going to know that if I were to ask you, what are your most dominant thoughts that you currently have? You're probably going to be able to tell me what they are. So I want you to kind of be aware of those, write them down and really look at them and say, man, these are like fear-based beliefs. All of these, they're not serving me. They're not helping me. And so what could I think that's different on a daily basis? And so this takes deliberate training of your mind. And this is the hardest work we'll ever do as humans, is like directing our thoughts deliberately. And I've been talking about this all week, of course, and with clients. And some clients don't know that we can choose our thoughts. And we can change our thoughts. We can regrow parts of our brain. There's just so much science on this. But of course, we don't need science here in the manifestation world. We don't need science. We just need to become our own evidence, right? And so remember, everything I tell you, take it with a grain of salt. Take the gems out of whatever I say that you resonate with, that works for you, that sounds great to you, and go practice it, go implement it, and become your own evidence of all of this. So that's why I love to give you guys these little exercises that are just so simple, because I'm always like, I want to give a lot of value in the videos and help you guys with certain things, which I'll have more structure coming up, as I've been promising. But each day I just come up with these ideas, and they're so simple, but all we need is simple. We need to eliminate all the distractions from the simple. And so the simplest things that you can do are look around you and say thank you to everything. Everything you're using, everything you're seeing, everything you're eating, everyone or every animal that's around you. Just say thank you in your mind. Like, thank you for this. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. I've been doing that lately. I got a random check in the mail today out of nowhere. Like, just random things will happen. It's crazy. And if you just distract yourself from the world you're seeing, you're going to see big results as you practice doing that. You have to train your mind to do this. This is like a distraction-based world, we could call it. I mean, everything you're seeing, there's just always constantly an email coming in or a notification on your phone, or we've got 25 tabs pulled up, or so I've had as much as 100 tabs pulled up when I was in my doctoral program. Like, there were so many things going on, and they're there to kind of distract us from our power. So take your power back. Look at all the things you're thinking and say, is this thought helping me or hurting me? And try to figure out what are your distractions, because really the most powerful distractions are the thoughts, the negative thoughts we have about ourselves and the negative thoughts we have about other people even. So train yourself. Here's the other exercise. Train yourself to look for the good in everything and everyone. And it will take some practice, because you're going to have some challenges with these people. Sometimes you're going to have some challenges. And so all you have to do is start directing your mind. This is, again, the simplest thing we can do and say, but yet the hardest thing. And this is what most people don't take the time to do. And if I were to die tomorrow, this would be the best advice I could ever give anybody, is deliberately direct your thoughts where you want them to go. Tell your brain what you want it to think. And this helps you get over, as Joe Dispenza says, get over the habit of being yourself. If you want to become your new self, you have to get over the habits of all these negative thoughts that you've been having. And you've got to direct your brain to think, okay, we're going to go this way instead of this way. We've always gone this way, but we're not seeing any results. We're still feeling stuck. We're still feeling depressed. We're still feeling anxious. And at some point we have to decide, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I want to feel this way instead. And so if I want to feel this way instead, I've got to let go of these old thoughts. I just have to. There's no other way around that. These thoughts are creating chemicals. Every time I think them, they're creating chemicals in my brain and in my body and turning on different genes and turning on different stress hormones. And all of these things are happening in my body. So what if I thought different thoughts? And so keep that in mind, that as you start to think different thoughts, your brain will get trained to go that route. And you'll feel so much better. You'll notice that, like, the best manifestation is the emotions you're going to start feeling. That's the first indicator that you've made a change. And the more you train your mind to go that way instead of the old way, it starts to believe it. It starts to actually believe it. At first, you don't believe it. I get it. It just seems so magical. And like, how could we actually do this? But at some point, just like I had to make the declaration, I was like, I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. I don't like feeling this way anymore. I've got to do something. I've just got to do something. And so all the law of assumption books and all this ancient wisdom that I'm going to be teaching about, that I am just so passionate about teaching, it seems magical, but it's not. It's just our minds are that powerful, and you can literally think anything you want to think. Always have some sort of imagination, practice for yourself. Visualize things. When you see something you don't like, say, no, I'm going to describe it exactly how I want it to be right now. So if I were to do that, how would I want this thing to look? This event that happened, this person that's treating me this way, and I want them to treat me this way. Describe it how you immediately would want to see it. Right when it happens, just say in your mind. You don't have to say this out loud. Just say it in your mind, and it will start to create this different energy in you after you do that so many times. It just feels better to do that than to notice what's making you feel bad. Why would we focus on what's making us feel bad over imagining something? Because you're imagining all day long. You just don't know that you are, but you're imagining all day long. And most of the time we're imagining the negative outcome, because we're so addicted to that. And we're addicted because our brains and bodies get trained to think that way. And so if we can train ourselves into sickness, we can train ourselves into wellness. And it's just a very small shift in consciousness, what you're aware of. Where are you placing your focus today? Are you focused on thinking negatively about yourself and your shortcomings, your perceived shortcomings? Or are you focused on the new self that you're wanting to become? Because you're in self number one every time you're going back to those old thoughts. Every time. And so if you want to shift into this new person, which you can do this. You just decide, like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is who I am now. And you can do that anytime you want to. We don't need to wait till January 1st to change anything. Change it now. Every day is Thanksgiving. Every day is Christmas morning. You can feel like that every day. You can train your mind to feel that way, I promise you. So you've got to practice it, because every time you get a thought moving in the right direction, let's say, in the direction you're wanting to go, you're creating momentum, energetic momentum. There's literal energy behind all of that is just, oh, it's feeling so good. And then all of a sudden that self-doubt comes in, or you hear somebody's voice that isn't the nicest that comes in and distracts you. That's a distraction, remember. And so then the momentum stops. It stops. It dissipates. So we want to keep that momentum going. We want to eliminate the distractions of the old self, because you're working on getting over that habit of thinking the same way as the old self. You're getting over the habit of being yourself, and you're becoming this new self that you don't know yet. And the possibilities are literally unlimited. So you never know what you're going to turn into. And you can create and design yourself and your life any way you want to. And nobody will tell you this. Nobody teaches this in schools, and nobody teaches this to our kids. And so pass this along to somebody who needs it. Teach this to your kids or your grandkids or your nieces and nephews or anybody. Teach them how to use their imagination. Teach them how to use their thoughts on purpose instead of going back to default mode, which is that programming that, basically when we're a kid, we're programmed. And so if we don't get any sort of guidance to change those beliefs and thoughts and feelings about ourselves, we are literally emotionally just like we were as a kid right now in these adult bodies. And so anything that's happened that's traumatic, we're going to kind of feel that today because our bodies remember what happened. And that's why, therapy is great for some people. I love EMDR therapy. I love doing it with people. It's amazing. But all we really need is to remember like the law of assumption and the law of attraction and all these universal laws that are just magical. And it's really just directing your thoughts where you want them to go. And pretty soon what happens is pretty soon those old thoughts that made sense at one time, they don't make sense anymore. They seem completely like nonsense and like they aren't even you anymore. They don't fit. Let's put it that way. They don't fit. The puzzle pieces don't fit anymore. And that's what's so cool about all of this. It's like you don't have to do much work once you've directed your thoughts where you want them to go. You can train your brain to just go that route. And I really highly suggest saying thank you to everything around you and looking for the best in everything. And you're going to train yourself. You're going to say, I'm in this boot camp and I'm training myself and I'm my own boss. And sometimes when we're our own bosses, that can be to our detriment too, because we let ourselves off the hook too much. And that goes back into, self-trust. Are you showing up for yourself? Decide that, like your identity. Who are you going to be today? Are you going to be that person that says, I'm going to do this tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and I'm going to do this tomorrow again, and tomorrow turns into 2 years? That's really easy for us to do things like that. And we've got to, at some point, break that chain and say, okay, we're going to create a new chain now. And it starts with an idea. What do you want? What's your idea of a passionate, fun, exciting life where you're looking forward to getting up every morning, to where every morning feels like Christmas morning, even when nothing has changed around you? That's the kicker to all this. That's the secret, is to notice what's going on around you, but not believe it. Just say, yeah, that's cool and all. This is what I'm seeing right now. This is what I'm experiencing. But in my imagination, the vision I just made for myself is the real reality that I will see, as long as I am disregarding what I'm seeing and not playing into this. It's like you can notice it and everything, but don't play into it. That's the distraction. That's the real distraction, is thinking that everything outside of you is real and you're just having an experience. So you can create a new emotional experience anytime you want, just by changing the way you see things. So it does take practice. And it takes daily, focus on, hey, what am I focused on today? Am I focused on the way I always feel? Or am I going to disregard what I'm seeing right now? And I'm gonna process my feelings. Never ignore your feelings. That's the biggest thing. Like, never ignore your feelings. Just say, I feel this way right now. Check in with your body. Where do I feel this in my body? But make sure that you don't dwell there. We don't want to live there. The feelings are just guiding us. They're not meant to stay in for a long period of time. They're just there to guide. They're just like, oh, you feel sad. Okay, let's feel sad for a second. Okay, now what made me feel sad? What triggered me to feel sad? What could I think that's different now? Where do I want to go? How do I want to actually feel? And it's just a talking to yourself. It's kind of like reparenting yourself. It really is. Because, as kids, even if you have great parents, they may not be giving you what you're needing, and that can be a trauma as well. And they didn't mean to do that. And it isn't like anything bad happened necessarily, but maybe the needs weren't met in the way that you wish that they, would have been. So you can meet your own needs now and just talk to yourself like you would a child, or like you wish you would have been talked to. And that can help too. Everybody's so different. Some people can change overnight. Some people, it takes longer. You get to decide how long it takes for you and where you're going to dwell. If you want to dwell in the old self, keep doing that. But I don't recommend it. I don't recommend that at all. I recommend everybody become self 2.0, because that's where the fun is. That's where the happiness is, the true happiness. So just keep practicing, and I'll be here for you every day. I still have a lot more videos to make. We're only almost halfway through. So just keep listening and re-listening. Put me on 2 times. It goes by a lot faster. And if you want to slow down your focus and start being more present in the moment, then listen at 1 times. But yeah, I think I'll leave you with that today. That was a little bit more of a ramble. But yeah. Remember that you're loved. Pass that on to somebody who needs it. And yeah, appreciate yourself, because everything that you appreciate appreciates. So we want to appreciate ourselves as much as possible to get that good ROI, that good return on investment. And there's nothing more important than you. So remember how amazing you are. You're here for a reason, or you wouldn't be here. And yeah, stop judging yourself. I feel like I need to say that. Stop judging yourself. Whoever needs to hear that today. All right. I will be back tomorrow. I'll see you later. Bye.